What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft with me, your boy Iggy, here on the Mindful SMP. So, in between episodes, I did get a little bit done on the build here. So, if you'll notice, we actually have basically this entire side is complete, minus the little details and whatnot that we need to get in here. But overall, super happy with how it came out. I will go ahead and put the reference image again up on the screen so you can kind of get an idea of what we're working with and what we're trying to achieve here. Now, that being said, I did go ahead and took out some of the area right here so that we can continue the front of the build over this direction. So I've been working on a little dark oak forest of my own over here, so we'll have the materials for the roof. I had originally wanted to go with something more vibrant, like a red nether bricks, but at this point in the game it's just not going to happen. So if anything, maybe later on we replace all the roofs. I don't know, maybe we'll stick with the dark oak. It's just kind of a pain to have to farm it, so I may look into finding a dark oak forest biome that we can go and just desecrate and get all of the dark oak we could possibly need. But that being said, today we need to work on this bit, the front little chunk of the building here. So I always do my exteriors first and then kind of figure out how to play around with the interiors and how that should go. So I'm going to go ahead, and I think the way that we're going to go about doing this is I'm going to frame it out with you know, the polished stuff that we use for kind of the framing, and then some of the wood bits and whatnot. And then from there we'll kind of get an idea of you know, where things are going to go, and then we can start, you know, filling it in. And I'm debating trying out a different technique for, oh, there's just cats everywhere. Okay. But trying a different technique for the way I do the walls. So as you can see over here, well, you can't really that well, but there's kind of a gradient between the tiles to the bricks, and they're just kind of mixed in there. And then as it gets higher up, it goes from, well, you can see it better over here. So it kind of goes from the tiles to the bricks into some of the polish, and then over here it just went back into the bricks. Normally I would do like a smooth basalt and some of the regular cobbled deep slate, but I kind of just figured this needs to look a little bit more finished, so the smooth basalt and the the cobbled deep slate just didn't really fit that well. I may do a little bit of cobbled up in here towards the top, but we'll have to see, because we got to remember that this building, I think, is probably going to be relatively tame in comparison to what it ultimately ends up being. So we do have to account that we may need to stretch the gradients higher at some point, and in which case, you know, it'll be a whole different story. I may need to think about getting a basalt generator going here at some point so we can start working on smelting up some of the smooth basalt and whatnot. But that being said, I'm going to go ahead and frame this, and then once we've got kind of an outline of where things are going to go, we can go ahead and fill that in. But before I do that, we're going to take one quick run over here. Iron farm's been coming along great. We've got quite a bit of iron. Went and did some of the storage a little bit more. I can't remember how much of that was done in the last episode, excuse me. But I am still waiting on this stupid sheep farm to produce enough for me to at least, like, I could probably actually go pretty soon. I think by the end of today's episode, we should at least be able to go partially stock our wool store. It's not going to be completely full, but this is like the world's slowest farm, just because, you know, the grass has to grow, the sheep have to eat the grass. Like, it's just a tedious process. So anyway, I'm going to crack on with the outline here, chop these trees down so I can replant, so we'll actually possibly have enough of the dark oak to complete the roof. And then once we got that done, we'll join back up, have a look, and figure out where to go from there. So see you momentarily. All right, so started getting a little bit of the front kind of worked out with the polished deep slate here, and I think it's definitely coming along nice. Eventually there'll be a little like overhang right here, but I think we need to move up and start addressing this portion right here, because this is kind of going to be, as you can see, the building juts out a little bit, and there's kind of like another little entrance that's right about here. It kind of lines up with the looks like it lines up with the center here, so I'm going to have to actually probably pull this bit a bit further out just so we can get it onto, let's see, what's that, onto negative Negative 325. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust the ceiling right there so we can kind of have a better idea of where this is going to fall down here on the side. So give me just a moment to do that, and then we can kind of start doing a little bit more at the top. We still need to get the little details up there in the polished in. I may do that real quick, you know, while I'm after I knock out that little bit of roof up there, and then we can kind of start figuring out what we're going to be doing with this bit right in here. So I will see you in just a sec. Alrighty, so we've been at it for a little bit longer, and here's what we've got. So we brought the, let's just hop into free cam, it's a lot easier. So basically this little wall design that we've got right here, we kind of just wrap that around and then continued it all the way around so that it is lined up with the other side over here. This right here is going to be a little building entrance, and then all this is going to be kind of like a patio area, if you will. So yeah, this is all going to be kind of have like an actual, you know, floor that'll be in probably right here on top of this block, and that way people could look out that block right there, and then this would be hypothetically for like cannons or something like that. I don't know. I haven't really decided yet. Maybe we'll make some blackstone cannons because you can do some pretty cool stuff with that. But I think next up, what we got to do is go ahead and get our walls in right here. So we're just going to kind of, you know, bring these along like so, and we'll actually, this will probably need to be polished. We can just go like that, and then I say we have a window maybe every other one, so we'll have 2 windows in here, so we can go ahead, and that's starting to be brick right there, so we just got to be careful. I think most of down here is actually going to be the tile, but just in case it's not. And then actually this is going to need to be a stair, that's going to need to be a stair, that's going to be a stair, and then there'll be another stair right there. Okay, perfect. So kind of like that. We're going to duplicate that up at the top. We'll do it on that side over there as well. And then I think we'll probably start working on at least continuing the ceiling over as far as it needs to, or at least this front part of the roof. Maybe we'll get the roof done today. That would actually be pretty nice, because then all we would have is this other side of the building right here and the back, which will eventually connect into stuff over here. I'm kind of thinking of having the castle wrap around this little lake right here, which is actually technically a river. So hypothetically, we could get squid to spawn in here, which is pretty sweet. Because if we did the AFK spot up there, we should be able to avoid that river right there, or just have to fill in a minimum amount of it to be able to get a pretty gnarly squid farm out of this little pond. So that, I think, will be kind of our courtyard, will be right in here, and then we'll just kind of continue the castle, you know, all the way around, this being one of the main buildings. Maybe we'll have some walls and some towers, you know, fun stuff like that. But for now, we got to get the actual, you know, building in, or at least the front facade here. Like I said, we've already got that half over there done, but not detailed, and it looks pretty fantastic. So once we get the actual roof on this thing, as well as the rest of the front little bit here, it should look pretty awesome. So give me just a little bit to work on that, and once I've got something to show, we will join back up and have a gander at it. So actually, I think I'm going to do stone bricks down in here. I think that'll be a nice kind of, what's the word? Kind of a nice contrast, kind of like how we've got the path down there with the stone bricks. I think we'll do something similar up there, so it's not so dark all over, because I think it'll just clash too much having the dark floors as well as the dark walls and all of that. So give me just a bit here to you know, kind of whip something up, and then we'll come back and check in and have a look. So I'll see you in just a sec. Okay, so I've been at it for some time. The build is not detailed. We'll probably do that in the next episode, or yeah, probably in the next episode we'll detail up the front of this thing, kind of have a fun time. But we've got our, you know, little overhang building right there. We've got, you know, nice little door to match the one that we've got over there. So we've got our fancy, you know, wooden doors. They're meant to look like big wooden doors, but you can't really do a big wooden door in Minecraft. So we've got the small wooden door, and then inside it's just kind of nothing because we haven't built it yet. But if we hop back and hop into FreeCam, we can have a little bit of look at what we've got. So room for some bushes and whatnot right there. That'll look pretty nice. Maybe we can put a little overhang right here in the front. That should look pretty nice. We do need to get the windows in, but I did get a little bit of a floor for this particular chunk, so that'll need to be cleaned up, but we can always do that at a later date. Up here on the top, we got the whole patio in. Figured we put a big window right there, and then, you know, windows there, and then the door right there. Pretty much same thing over here. This will just wrap around, and so we'll do what we did over in this corner right here, like so, where we've got the little thing in the middle. We'll just do another one of those right and that should look pretty sweet. This side, I have not decided what to do with yet, so we're just going to leave this kind of as it is for the time being. Same with the back, but, you know, from the front, it is looking pretty good. I think what we're going to do next here is fill this little gap right here just with some wool, just to kind of make it pop a little bit so it's not all so dark. And then I think we should probably have enough materials that we can go and fill the wool shop. So let's just leave some of our deep slate here behind. Let's see. Put all of our cobbled into this one. Grab that back. Get that one there. This one, we'll just go ahead and put all of our various deep slate blocks. And then we can put our dark oak that we were using for the roof, which you will see momentarily. I did not actually get finished, and I don't have room for that. We'll just hold on to that and that. Two. One of those. All right, perfect. And that's set. We're all good there. All right, so for the roof, I did get the bit that you see from the front done. However, I only got about half of the overall roof. So in between episodes, I'll have to put the other slant on here, which is no big deal. You know, I think the building will probably end up kind of coming this way and then maybe back over this way into like a smaller building or a wall to encapsulate the sheep farm there. So next up, I gotta see if we can actually like carry all of the wool that we're going to need. So you'll have to give me just a moment to gather up our merchandise here, and then we're gonna have to make a couple trips to the wool shop. So let me get everything all gathered up, and then I will meet back up with you at the shop once we are all stocked, and we'll wrap things up for today. So I'll see you momentarily. All right, so a couple trips later, we have got the wool shop about as stocked as I can stock it. This stuff takes so long to AFK for. I may build a second sheep farm just to keep the production up, but the price does kind of reflect the difficulty involved in getting this much wool in all the colors early game, because you definitely have to hang out by the farm quite a bit until everything backs up. So that being said, it looks like we can go ahead and pop these signs down because the store is technically open. Got our ender chest, got a little loom right there in case anybody wants to do something with that. I think I may end up putting a chest of iron in the back just because we do have the iron farm that's going pretty good, and we could probably do like a diamond for 16 blocks of iron, something like that. But I think that is where we're going to call today's episode. We got the shop stocked finally. It's so far overdue. And then we got the whole pretty much front basic shape, I guess you could say, of our structure done. So definitely made some progress today. I'm worn out. It's been a long episode to record. So that being said, if you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button so you're notified every time a new video comes out. Check out all my links in the description down below, as well as the other members. Leave me a comment while you're down there because I love reading your guys' comments. And as always, hope you have a great rest of your day. See you in the next episode, and thanks for watching.